Yeah, we've got so much to come over the course of the next 2 hours for you. Joining me in the studio this evening, the former England and West Ham goalkeeper, Rob Green. Rob, very good evening. Welcome along. Great to have you with us. We're going to start with Arsenal and with Declan Rice, who, fresh from scoring twice to help his side beat Bournemouth, sat down with Jamie Redknapp ahead of a massive game in the title race this evening.
Nah, not really. To be fair, as I've got older, I've chilled out a lot more in terms of how I prepare for games. I think this morning just got in now, had a shower, and then just literally got ready, come and met you, I have breakfast after, and then it all starts then. We have meetings, preparation, like indoor stuff to do to prep the team, and then obviously training outside. So, yeah, loads of stuff going on.
What about last night? Relaxing?
Last night, chilled.
Did you watch West Ham?
Yeah, I watched the games. I love watching the football, so...
Well, we spoke to you on Saturday, didn't we? Was it Saturday after the game? Obviously, you scored 2 great goals.
Yeah.
And I said to you, are you going to watch Man City? And you were like, well, I don't know, I don't know if I will watch it.
You
watched, didn't you?
No,
I find that amazing.
No, I didn't watch.
Really? And how good, when Arsenal got that, when Chelsea equalised, you must have thought...
I sit. You know what it is? Over the years, I've spoken to a few of the boys about it upstairs. Loads of the boys don't watch it. It's like because sometimes you watch something expecting a result and it don't happen, and you end up just getting in like. That's why I say we just got to relax and let ourselves do the talking and just keep winning our own games. Like, there's no point getting fixated on what other teams are going to do, because if they win a game, they win a game. Like, that's football. So.
And you say relax. Is that something maybe a couple of years ago when you were in this position? Was it like so intense? Everything like what are they doing? What we doing? We've got to make sure we're ready for everything. Does it feel a bit more relaxed this year?
Yeah, I think we're better. We're probably more well prepared this year. I would say. You can just sense the lads, the experience, the players that we've brought in the summer. I think you can sense that we know we've got a really good squad. We've got a really good team of players. There's also that hunger now. It's like, look, there's still such a long way to go, but I think in football you want to achieve the best things now, and you want to do well in your career. And there's a sense of, with this squad, what we want to achieve, and we believe we can do it. So it's just we've got to keep going.
I think that makes a bit of sense, because sometimes you can go, well, I don't want to talk about it, we're taking each game as it comes. I tried to do that at Liverpool, I never won the title. Sometimes embracing it and going, you know what, we can win it, we've got a great squad, why shouldn't we be thinking that? You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think loads of the boys have spoken openly about it before. It's like, you only get one career, why not just give it everything you've got, you know what I mean? We're in this position, it's 18 games to go, let's just keep firing and keep playing well and keep, winning every game we can, because that's all we can do. And one day you'll look back on these times, it sounds cliche, but you will. And
of course.
You'll look back on them and think, oh, could I have done this different? Could I have done that? And now's the time to give it everything, because, like I said, you're never going to get this time back. So
embrace it and
embrace it.
Well, let's go in. I want to have a chat with you about your goals, how you're playing. It feels like you're in the form of your life right now. You look like you're really enjoying your football.
Yeah, I'm loving it, to be fair. It's just something about it, where it just feels like something's clicking.
Deck, thank you, mate. It's nice to see you. I want to take you back to the weekend. 2 goals, great performance individually, man of the match. You're really enjoying your football right now.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Trying to take every game as it comes, but obviously when I'm going on the pitch, I'm full of confidence at the minute, full of energy. When you've just got that spring in your step in football, it's just like where you feel like everything you're doing, you just feel so confident in your game. I think I've got that at the minute. I think after a little bit of a slow start at the start of the season, started to pick up fitness, pick up form, and I've maintained that level, which has been really good for me.
Where's that come from, do you think? What, is that something that you've done yourself? Has that been the manager, or something you looked at, or just trying to improve?
Start of the season, manager pushed me a lot. I think after 2 games, I was in his office, he pulled me in, he weren't happy about a few things.
Like what?
There was a few clips just of things that I weren't doing right, and the things that, things that are basics in terms of running and tracking your men and with the ball positional wise, that he wasn't too happy with. And like I said at the start of the season, I realised myself I probably wasn't at my best level. This was 2-3 games in, but obviously you've got a full season to go, so I wasn't too worried, and I knew I'd pick it back up. But after that, the good thing is with this manager, he knows when to put the knife in me a little bit, just to give me a nudge, and he knows that
carrot and the stick.
He knows that will get the best out of me. Because I love to listen, I love to take it all in, and I don't see that as a bad thing that he's told me that. So when he said that to me, I obviously said to myself, right, I do need to up it here. And obviously since then, I've just gone on, and obviously just the games are coming so thick and fast. So I'm just trying to keep playing consistently well.
I think the way you're talking about yourself is absolutely right. I don't think we embrace how well, when we're doing well, we should enjoy it, because football, as we know, is not always easy. You can't just switch it on and off. But I've got some stats that back up what you're saying. This season, 85 touches. Previous 2 seasons, you've had 70 touches on average. Passes forward, 16.3 this season, 12 last season, 12.5. Line breaking passes, 7.8, 6.2. Progressive carries, 10.9, 8.6. Chances created, which is obviously one that you want to be looking at all the time, I'm sure, 1.8 this season to 1.6 per game. Passes into the opposition box, nearly doubled, 8.2 for 4.5 last season. That pretty much tells you everything. You know, we've got great stats guys at Sky. This isn't me just gone and thought, I'll write these up. That must make you feel good, and that's obviously proof in the pudding.
Yeah, definitely. And I think every season you need to think, I think to myself, how can you level up again, you know? Like, how can you go again and show, you know, why Arsenal brought you in, why you want to be amongst all of these other names. And
did you ever doubt it then, a little bit?
Nah, I didn't doubt it, but it was just that, you know, you have to prove yourself, you know, and also you're at a club where it's fierce competition, you know, nothing's ever guaranteed, and you need to be able to be on it every single day and every week to justify your play. So I think them stats are good, because the manager, not only to me but to everyone, has banged on, you know, about more threat, more risk, you know, creating more chances for the attackers, getting the ball into the front line as quick as possible. And yeah, them stats are obviously good to hear, because you want to have good stats, you know.
Yeah, of course. Now we are stats based. Everything's data driven. And you've got 2. You said it. 6 points clear. Carabao Cup semi-final to come. Champions League, you're top of that group as well. Could things be any better?
Nah, I think you've got to, like you said to me earlier, you've just got to embrace it. I think we're in the position we're in because, you know, we have amazing players, we have an incredible manager, we have a team that are fully buying into what the manager wants, and we're going out on the pitch at the minute and things are falling into place. And in football, when you've got that feeling, you know, there's no better feeling than winning football matches. You know, it can either make your weekend or break your weekend. You can either go home and you're deflated, or you go home and, you know, you're buzzing. And that's what this training ground's been since the start of the season. You know, there's been a real good vibe, real good energy around the place. And
new signings added a lot to that?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you look at what you just said then, top of the Champions League, top of the Prem, Carabao Cup semi-final, usually when you bring in 7 or 8, it's hard to embed them all in at once. But I think we've done so well as a group, with the manager, everyone, just pulling together and making them feel as comfortable as possible, as quickly as possible. And yeah, they're all doing really well for us.
He speaks as well as he plays, doesn't he? Really interesting to listen to that, Rob. He says he's just Declan from Kingston, but Declan from Kingston's doing all right, isn't he? Is he the key to Arsenal winning this elusive title?
He's huge, isn't he? And you think about what he brings to the team in terms of, he touched on it then, the energy that he brings, the fitness that he brings, the powerful running that he brings, goals now as well. And you see at the weekend him arriving on the edge of the box, into the box, scoring goals for them as well. So I think the identity of where Arsenal are big, powerful, strong players, he's at the heart of that. He's that person in midfield to drive it forward. So he is massive. We've seen them lose other players here and there in this season. You know, Arsenal will talk about the injuries that they've had. He stepped out for a couple of games recently. If they were to lose him now, I think that would be a bigger loss than anybody else, really.
And I mean, you think about last night, we saw both Manchester City and Aston Villa drop points. Arsenal win this night against Liverpool, they go 8 points clear at the top. Is that sort of lead insurmountable, do you think?
Well, you put it one way, 8 points clear, you put it another way, it's 3 wins. And then you say, well, who's going to win 3 more games in the form they're in than Arsenal? You put it like that in the Premier League, and no one within that 8 points is going to get close to them, I don't think. So tonight's massive in that regard. I think at the Emirates it's really big in terms of the nervousness, the energy around that's building there. Every season they feel a little bit more desperate, and desperate every season it gets closer. So tonight, winning this game, if they do that, you think adds that bit more belief. So it would be really big for Arsenal and their fans.
Rob, we'll chat more in a moment. Thanks very much for now. Let's get some more build-up, though, ahead of this big game tonight. 8 o'clock kickoff. Let's head. Join our reporter, Dharmesh Sheth, who is there for us. Dharmesh, a very good evening to you. As Rob just said there, this feels big, doesn't it? So big, you've got not one, but 2 guests.
Exactly, Julian. Yeah, and as you mentioned before, victory for Arsenal would take them 8 points clear
Always, mate.
of Manchester City and Aston Villa at the top of the Premier League table. I'm joined by Chief Football Reporter for The Mirror, John Cross, Arsenal reporter for Football London and The Mirror, Tom Canton. Thanks very much for joining us. We're going to talk about the game in just a moment, but John, we want to talk about a transfer, potential one, and some big news that you broke earlier today regarding Arsenal and a certain Crystal Palace defender.
Yeah, Mark Gay, who I think is the most hotly sought after, the most talked about player in this transfer window, isn't he? Without a shadow of a doubt. Lots of potential suitors. Clearly Manchester City are now thinking about pushing the button early to bring forward summer interest and activating it now. But Arsenal's interest is there. Arsenal were interested in Mark Gay last summer, but they went in a different direction. Obviously Mosquera and Ikape, younger players, I guess, and sort of, slightly cheaper in a different budget. But Arsenal are definitely interested in the player. Whether they can do it in this window remains to be seen, whether they'll bid in this window, which I suspect they probably won't. But if Man City fail to do it in this window, and my word, they're pushing for it, aren't they? There will be so many big clubs in for it. Arsenal being one of them, Bayern Munich another. Liverpool, I think, will be very interested again. So it's no surprise to me at all why he is the most sought after, most talked about transfer target of this January window.
Yeah, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of Mark Gahey in this transfer window. Tom, let's talk about the game. It feels like it's got a big game atmosphere about it already, doesn't it? The conditions could play a part as well. Is absolutely hosing it down. But what kind of a statement do you think Arsenal can make? Because we were talking about statement victories when they beat Aston Villa a couple of weeks ago. This would be another level, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was interesting. I think that the statement, if we were talking about this game 3 months ago, might have been different. We thought maybe Liverpool would be up there challenging with Arsenal for the title as well. And if this was going to be a big statement to make in terms of which of the two or the three, with City involved as well, would be there. But Liverpool aren't. And they're chasing for a top four place instead. So the statement is, can Arsenal take advantage of the drop points now of the other teams, City and Aston Villa yesterday, dropping points? I think they can. I think they'll have loads of confidence. They'll take that win from Bournemouth, of course, going into this as well. And they just look so imperious right now that that's going to be fearful for a side like Liverpool.
Do you think that that's the case for Arsenal? Because they've got a Liverpool team that are coming to the Emirates, who after 5 games everyone was predicting is going to be a walkover. They're going to walk the league. There's been a 19-point swing between Liverpool and Arsenal after those first 5 games. This is a time where Arsenal can take advantage because Liverpool aren't the Liverpool we're expecting.
No, they're not. I did see Liverpool at Fulham on Sunday, and I still think there's a lot of life in Liverpool. And I think Liverpool will pose a threat and are a danger tonight. It shouldn't be overlooked. Yes, they're missing players. Will Ekitike make it? Salah's obviously missing Isak out, so they're missing a whole, host and wealth of attacking talent for sure. But I just think they generally turn up. These are big games, aren't they? Absolutely phenomenal games. I was at the game earlier in the season at Anfield, and Liverpool, frankly, didn't play that well. They just about edged it. And I do think there's so much at stake as well for Liverpool with the Champions League place. But the pressure and expectation is on Arsenal, isn't it, to win and then take advantage. Because honestly, going 8 points clear, even at this early stage of the title race, is one hell of a statement and a huge, argument for Mikel Arteta that actually he could be on course for the title.
Tom, we cover a lot of Mikel Arteta's news conferences, and he seems to pick his moments when he rallies the fans. I noticed that before this game. He said, we can't wait for this game when all the fans will be in here early, creating an atmosphere. How big can the fan base be, not only for tonight, but for the rest of the season, just to get this team over the line?
Oh, they have to be massive. And Arteta's really called on the fans in the past. I think he used the words 5:30 in a previous fixture about 7 times in one answer to really hammer home the point that that's the time of kickoff. The fans can be, I think, indifferent at times inside the stadium. We've had moments where at the start of the season there's expectations so high, if they haven't scored in the first 15-20 minutes, can get a little nervous. But for games like this, and I think we think about the Bayern Munich game, think about the Real Madrid game last season, they are on it from before the first whistle. They're building up to it. We're expecting this fan-activated display as well, so that's going to really hype things up too. The fans are massive for Arsenal. They're massive for Arteta. He really likes to try and engage them. The video they put out on their social feeds this morning was inspiring. Really, really appreciate the effort, I think, from those that have gone into making that. But yeah, they're huge for Arsenal, huge for the team, and they really feed off it.
They are feeding off it, aren't they? And it's a two-way thing, isn't it? Because I always remember during COVID when I spoke to Mikel Arteta, and he always talked about what's missing is the synergy.
Yeah.
That's the word he kept using, the synergy between the players and the fans. And earlier on this season, he says, we are starting to get that synergy and they are playing the game with us. Is that a real, has that surprised you? Has that impressed you how he has connected everyone at this football club?
Darmish, I think the single biggest achievement that Mikel Arteta has done to date is the reconnection with the fans. I think early on, he was probably lucky during sort of kind of semi-COVID times that the fans weren't in when it wasn't going so well. But believe you me, he takes such an interest in everything. You know, North London forever, which is not my cup of tea, but there you go. A lot of fans love it. But then basically the fans really buy into it and can be loud. But sometimes, Tom's absolutely right, it can be a little bit sort of kind of bit nervy, bit low-key. And Arteta has been an absolute master at recreating the atmosphere, lifting it up, making a point and getting his message across in the media, which he does brilliantly. But honestly, we shouldn't forget that not so long back, it was really toxic. And Arteta deserves so much credit for re-engaging the fans, getting the connection back, getting that love back, getting that atmosphere back. And sometimes in this, you know, I think of sort of the Aston Villa game, it can be absolutely rocking and noisy in here, and that's what can will Arsenal to big wins, and big wins that they'd hope for against Liverpool tonight.
I think as well, you look at the record this season, they've only dropped points in one home league game all campaign. They've won all the others. That City game is the only time they've dropped points. And that comes from the energy from the fans. And I think that you look at previous seasons, Arteta's really wanted to make this a fortress, you know, a side where going to the Emirates becomes so difficult. Like we used the cliche of a cold, rainy night in Stoke. Well, a cold, rainy night at the Emirates, as it is tonight, is a tough place. I mean, a sunny day is tough at the Emirates, and that's because of the effort that goes into every aspect of a match day, from on the pitch to off it as well.
It has got the feel of a really, really big game, this one, Julian. And Arsenal, if they win, will go 8 points clear in that title race. They are trying to end that long wait, 22 years since they last won the Premier League title. Tom, John, enjoy the game. Kick-off is at 8 o'clock here at the Emirates. Live coverage on Sky Sports Premier League gets underway at 7. You don't want to miss it.
You absolutely do not want to miss it. And yes, they've mentioned it there. We've mentioned it a few times already on the Premier League show tonight. Potentially 8 points clear in January. Does that bring back any bad memories for Arsenal fans? More on that in just a moment. First, though, I want to introduce to you our premiere of our title predictor. We've got cumulative points here in the Y, and we've got time elapsing in the season along the X. Arsenal are in the red, Manchester City in the blue, and obviously Aston Villa are in the claret. Now, the magic number this season, well, our prediction is that 86 points in May will win you the Premier League title this season. This is the line that you need to cross. As we know, Arsenal on 48 points. 5 clear of their nearest rivals. So if Arteta's side do win tonight, it is that magic number 8 clear. And before this season, there have been 10 occasions of a team being 8 or more clear, specifically in January. Only 2 sides have failed to go on and lift the title. That's Newcastle in 95-96. I would love it if we beat them. And Mikel Arteta's Arsenal in 22-23. Sorry, Arsenal fans, here we go. It all started going wrong during the second half at Anfield in April. 2-0 up inside half an hour, only for Liverpool to grab an equaliser in the 87th minute. It finished 2-2. Alexander Zinchenko visibly upset on the Arsenal bench. A week later, 2-1 up at West Ham. Before this, from Bukayo Saka, missing a crucial penalty midway through the second half. Jarrod Bowen equalised 2 minutes later. Arsenal dropping more points there. And individual mistakes costly. They continued at the Emirates against bottom of the table Southampton. Aaron Ramsdale gifting the Saints a goal inside the opening minute. Then they would go on to draw the game 3-3. And the reactions of the Arsenal players at full time told the story. And the title bid was over in just 70 by 4-1 to the eventual champions Manchester City. Erling Haaland grabbing the 4th. City won the title by 5 points.
Welcome back. Arsenal can take a huge leap towards the first Premier League title since 2004 when they take on Liverpool at the Emirates this evening to build up to what is always a mouth-watering clash. We can head there now and speak to Darmish Sheth. Darmish, great to be chatting to you again. How big is this an opportunity for Mikel Arteta and his side this evening?
Oh, Julia, it really does feel big, doesn't it? Almost pivotal. 18 games to go in this season, and Arsenal are in pole position. Victory tonight, and they would go 8 points clear of Manchester City and of Aston Villa. They've got 48 points so far of Arsenal from 20 games. And here's a little stat for you. 13 teams have previously got that many points, at least at this stage of the season. 10 of those 13 teams have gone on to win the league. So the odds seem to be in Arsenal's favour. Can they finally end that 22-year wait and claim the Premier League crown?
It's driving us every single day, because that's the aim, that's the objective, that's the dream. And we're working towards that for a lot of months. Still so many to go. And you have to take that daily. And tomorrow's game is a really important one, obviously.
Yeah, so that's the Arsenal side, Julia. As for Liverpool, well, they were the title favourites at the start of the season. It's gone a little bit pear-shaped of late, though, hasn't it? I think their focus will purely be on trying to secure a Champions League finish. And victory tonight, if they can shock Arsenal, would put a bit of daylight between themselves, they're in fourth, remember, and fifth place Brentford. It would extend that gap to around 4 points. Now, as far as Arne Slot is concerned, he says it isn't nice not to be in the title conversation just after halfway through the season, but he still has maintained a little bit of a sense of humour about it.
If something happens that no one would expect and probably never has happened before, then we try to make sure, or we make sure that we are ready for that. But I don't go to Arsenal thinking about a title race. We go to Arsenal thinking about winning a game of football against a very strong team. But we've shown so many times this season that we can be a very strong team as well.
Yeah, Arne Slot says that they've shown they've been a strong team as well, not least in the corresponding fixture earlier on this season at Anfield, when that incredible Dominic Szoboszlai free kick was the difference between the teams as Liverpool won by 1-0. It was their third victory in a row. In fact, they won their first 5 games, and at that point, they were 5 points clear of Arsenal at the top of the table. Since then, there has been an incredible 19-point swing. Liverpool find themselves 14 points now behind Arsenal. With regard to team news, Hugo Ekitike remains a doubt for Liverpool, though Arne Slot, I think, will be hopeful he can play some part tonight. And Arsenal's much vaunted injury crisis looks like it is easing, doesn't it? Ricardo Calafiori, Christian Mosquera and Max Dowman, the only real absentees from their first team squad. But it has got a big feeling, this one, of a big night, potentially, as I mentioned before, a pivotal night. Arsenal with a big chance to go 8 points clear at the top. It's Arsenal, the leaders, against the champions, Liverpool. It's at the Emirates. Kickoff is at 8. Live coverage gets underway on Sky Sports Premier League from 7.
Great stuff. Thank you, Damish.